Isa Talk is a Filipino podcast based here in Cebu City by your host, Issaplease. This podcast focuses on pop culture, growing up as a millennial, a woman, a creative, a creator, a business owner, and everything in between. I hope you like this podcast enough to subscribe and to add us to your playlist. Here's the episode. Hey guys, what is up? It's me, Issaplease, and welcome back to another episode of It's a Talk. So I fucked up. Okay, I'm just gonna get straight to it, guys. I am deciding yet again to take a break from podcasting. And this time it's not because I'm tired of it or anything. I am definitely taking a break because I just had a really amazing eureka moment with my life and my content. So I'm gonna take a break from making the podcast and I'm going to rebrand it again. And this last podcast is kind of me sharing how I got to it. So, yeah, I'm just going to cut straight to it. I joined a podcast talk yesterday with Sir Ron of Hustle Share, and it was like a creative hour offered by my agency, Republic Group of Companies, RGC by TV, that's them. So, I got invited to be a part of it, and I kind of got some pointers from that episode or from that creative hour or from that seminar, from the talk about my content. And I kind of realized that I have been all over the place with my content. And I think because on my part, I keep, there's something to be learned when you give advice, but you don't take your own advice. And I definitely think that's something that happened on my part. There was a little bit of resistance for me to make my content so cohesive. Like when I became Bayhana, I didn't change all my profiles into Bayhana yet. I kept my Instagram by Isa. I didn't even put Bayhana. I was so scared. Di ba yun ko scared? I mean, I think I was just not as confident. I think I was just dipping my feet into the water. I wanted to see if there was a place for the things that I wanted to talk about on the internet. I wanted to see if there was a community of people who felt the same way, who felt like they had issues that wanted to be heard. And so I kind of held back on my content and making everything super duper cohesive. And when I started the podcast, again, 11 episodes ago, which has been great. It's been a really great 11 weeks on my end. I haven't missed a single episode. But I kind of realized that I wasn't really in the mood to talk to anyone. As you've noticed, I think I've gone like a good month without interviewing anyone just because I didn't feel like it. But I was still having a lot of conversations. I was talking to Paulo, I was talking to friends, I was talking to girlfriends about like all these things that I wish I could have put on a podcast. My favorite conversation that I had so far in the last ever since I started my podcast, my favorite episode so far, baby boy, hold on, let me let Cody out. Okay, baby boy, go out. Go with Papa. Okay. So my favorite episode so far since I came back from podcasting has honestly been the conversation with Gibbs of Creepy Conversations, because I was able to interject a lot of things about being a woman. And I love that. And I was looking back at all my episodes this week after that creative hour session, and I kind of realized, like, why don't I just keep doing this on all my platforms? And then after that, I kind of sat down and then thought of all the possible conversations and all the amazing women that I would want to have these conversations with. And I kind of thought to myself, damn son, I should have been doing that the moment I got back. But there was just a little bit of hesitation on my part. I think I was just scared, I don't know what I was scared of because it doesn't make sense. But I think I just went for something that was comfortable for me. And for me deciding to stop for a while, gather my episodes. I'm not going to stop working on the podcast. I'm just going to take a break so I can interview women and kind of fix the branding and everything on the show. Allowing me to do that, or making the decision to do that, actually is me putting myself out of my comfort zone, and also possibly other women, and really talk about issues that are more relevant. There are so many podcasts out there that talk about like your favorite celebrities or your favorite influencers, and talk about how they started and stuff like that, and that's great. I kind of think though that I would want to take my content out of the interviews and kind of talk about like things that women are actually going through, like things we hate that guys do on a first date, or things that women do that we hate we do on a first date, like how we pretend not to like the food, or like what we're too shy to eat and stuff like that. Like there's just so many things that I think and I know that I can talk about that would make this podcast so much better, and kind of align my content with everything else that I'm doing online, because I realized that I love TikTok so much because all I do is talk about things that I'm so passionate about, self-confidence, being a woman, fighting for my rights, for the rights of other people, being the voice of the women who can't be heard. I love doing all that stuff on my different platforms like by Hannah, like Issaplease, on Instagram, on TikTok, but I haven't been able to integrate that on my podcast, and I think it's high time that I do that, and I'm really mad at myself for not thinking about this in advance, but I think I'm finally ready. So I am going to take maybe a couple weeks off to kind of collate everything, set it up, get my interviews ready. Obviously, everything's going to be online, which is something I'm really super duper excited about, because I know a lot of women who I could actually have these conversations with. So I'm going to take a break. And this is also really good timing because, as I said last week, By Hannah Live is happening next Tuesday, or this Tuesday. I know I said last week it was going to start on Thursday, but according to my management, we're going to move it on Tuesday, which I'm really fine with. It gives me a reason to wake up early on a Tuesday morning. And it kind of like, By Hannah Live is going to be like a prelude to By Hannah the podcast, because I am definitely thinking about changing the name of this podcast to By Hannah, so it's easier for everyone to just find me, so in the meantime, I am going to work on By Hannah Live and By Hannah the podcast. If I'm allowed to use By Hannah on my podcast, then I definitely will rebrand, and then I'm going to come up with my interviews, and I'm so excited because now I kind of figure out why I wasn't in the mood to interview anyone. It was because I just didn't in my head, I was like, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to interview them about like how they started in their career. I've heard it. I know it. I've heard it a million times. I want to talk about, things that piss me off as a woman, or things that I'm seeing as a woman. And now it makes me excited to do it again. So in the meantime, you can catch me on By Hannah Live. That's every Tuesday on By TV, 2 p.m. And then I'll be back in like a month or so. I'll think about it. I still have to run it by my management and get everything in order. But I'm pretty sure that they will say yes, because they're the best. They say yes to everything. And yeah, I hope you guys are going to in the meantime, you can enjoy, and I do encourage you to listen to a lot of other women-centered content, or just content in general. There are a million and one podcasts out there that are so amazing. I'm sure I'm not your only favorite one. But yeah, you can go check them out. I'll leave some of my favorite podcasts in the show notes. All right, and yeah, so I am gonna leave you guys with this. You're awesome. I'm awesome. We're all awesome. I'm so tired because I've been recording every Sunday after I cook, clean, wash the dishes, take a bath, and take care of Cody. But if you guys want to get in touch with me, I do want to start a segment on this where women ask for advice, and they give us a situation and advice for women. So you can send me an email, send me a private message on Instagram, get in touch with me on Facebook, and I would love to accommodate them in our segment. So yeah, all right guys, I'm gonna skedaddle out of here because I am gonna play Call of Duty for the rest of the night. So have an awesome week. Don't forget, By Hannah Live every Tuesday on By TV. That's 2:00 in the afternoon, and I'll catch ya. I love ya. Follow me on all my socials. I'm Issaplease, and also my YouTube. That's By Hannah and Issaplease. By Hannah is the main account. Issaplease is a personal account. So yeah, I'm Issaplease on all my socials, and don't forget, knowledge is power. Bye.